standing as I invite Mrs. Sandy Louise to lead us in prayer.
Good night, everyone. The Bible says that it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and in everything we must give thanks. So this evening, we just want to give our Heavenly Father thanks for our retirees. Thank God for each and every one of them and our invited guests. I give God thanks for you, and I pronounce a blessing of long life upon you, prosperity, good health, and that you will be blessed in your going out and in your coming in. And whatsoever you do, you shall prosper, our honored retirees. So let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for this evening. We thank you that you have brought us here safely. And as we gather to celebrate, we just invite your Holy Spirit in our midst, that whatever we do this evening, dear God, we will have clean fun. We'll enjoy sweet fellowship with each other, dear Lord. Just keep us safe throughout this time, and even when we leave here, dear God, as we depart, take each and every one of us safely to our homes, dear God. We thank you for the meal that has been prepared for us. We pray that as we eat, it will nourish our bodies. Whatever we drink, dear Father, just let your will be done in our midst this evening. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Louise. You may sit. Ms. Beverly Diodone, Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training. Mr. Cyrus Sipa, Deputy Chief Education Officer in the same ministry. Mrs. Valerie St. Helen Henry, President of the National Principals Association of St. Lucia. Esteemed retirees, other executive members of the NPA, specially invited guests, past presidents of NPA, Mrs. Judy Johannes and Mrs. Ethelyn Leos, you are all special invited guests. Mr. Dawson Ragunan, former Deputy Chief Education Officer of Instruction, education officers, Ms. Marie Ale and Mr. Jerif, First Vice President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, Mrs. Anne Giffard Elcock, past principals, Mrs. Arlette Snack and Mr. Julian Monrose, current principals, special guests of retirees, other invited guests, the communications unit of the MOE, and the other media present with us. I wish you all a very pleasant good evening. I am Neil Fontenelle, your Master of Ceremony for the evening, and at this juncture I'd like to invite my Mistress of Ceremony, Mrs. Fern Donnelly, to present the welcome remarks.
Thank you, my fellow colleague, Mr. Fontenelle. Please permit me to adopt a protocol that was so clearly established tonight, colleagues. Good night, everyone. Oh, well, that doesn't really, this good night is not really aligned to the environment that I'm seeing in front of me. Good night, everyone. Good night. It brings me immense pleasure to welcome you this evening to this annual retirement ceremony held by the auspicious National Principals Association in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to celebrate the retirement of 6 of our esteemed colleagues. This is a much anticipated event for our colleague principals, as it gives the returns on the efforts they put in throughout their educational leadership journey. It gives a sense of achievement and a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards fulfilling the vision as espoused by the Department of Education, and most importantly, their personal professional vision. It is indeed a momentous occasion as we bid farewell to persons who have dedicated their lives to this noble profession and who have made an indelible mark on all of us and our nation by extension. As we reflect on the many years of service that our retirees have given to the development of the nation's human capital, we are reminded of the countless contributions they have made, the challenges they have overcome, and the successes they have achieved, their unwavering commitment to excellence, their tireless work ethic, and of course, their infectious enthusiasm, which has continued to inspire all of us. We are indeed grateful for the many ways in which they have enriched our lives. As we gather here tonight to honor them, we do so with a deep sense of gratitude and admiration. We are grateful for the many years of service they have given to this profession, and we are inspired by the example they have set for all of us. We are also grateful for the many friendships that have been forged over the years and for the memories that we will cherish for a lifetime. So tonight, on behalf of the executive of the National Principals Association, I extend a warm welcome to our retirees, their guests, and to you, all our members of the education fraternity who are here to enjoy and to celebrate with our 6 guests of honor. May tonight bring you joy, peace, and love. We thank you and we congratulate you. Good night.
And before we go a step further this evening, in my very elaborate protocol, I missed someone, and I want to apologize profusely on behalf of the NPA. Mrs. Judy Johannes is also with us. She's a past principal and a former president of the NPA. My apologies, Mrs. Johannes. But we have to acknowledge you. Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I will invite us to dinner, and we will begin with the head table, our specially invited guests, our retirees, our extra special invited guests, because we have other special invited guests among us. So, retirees, I would like to invite you to proceed to the buffet so you can indulge, and other members of the head table as well. Madam Chief, Madam President, and Mr. Deputy Chief. Can we have some entertainment in the meantime? And I don't think I have to call tables for principals. I think we can flow. Can we just flow this dinner? The buffet? Yeah, we can flow. So let's just use our discretion, let the head table go, and then we can just join them on the buffet line.
Ladies and gentlemen, how's dinner? All right, so no one's answering. It means you're enjoying dinner. Right, Mr. Sipa? If no one's answering, it means they're enjoying dinner. And I suspect I'm rather disturbing the digestive process at this time. I do apologize. However, we are going to continue with the program. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Ms. Valerie St. Helen Henry, the president of the National Principals Association, principal of the Ave Maria Girls Primary School. One who barely needs an introduction tonight. Let's put our hands together as she comes to deliver her presidential address.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. In the interest of time, I would like to beg that protocol having established that I want to recognize the head table. We have our Chief Education Officer, Ms. Beverly Diodone, our DCO Instruction, Mr. Cyrus Sipal, our esteemed retirees. Good night, everyone. All right. I bid you all a pleasant good evening. Tonight, we gather here to celebrate and honor the incredible careers of our beloved school principals. It is with mixed emotions that we bid them farewell as they embark on a new chapter of their lives. It is a splendid night to celebrate the professional life of 6 principals who have toiled and now, for various reasons, have retired. I must admit, you look splendid tonight. Yes, let's give it up to them. Look at this young chap there, Mr. Fenelon, with his young hair, the attire, made a statement there. So yes, it is always a warm and welcoming difference to have many principals in the same space to celebrate this milestone of our colleagues who have served with honor at their respective education institutions. We are here to celebrate our colleagues, so this is a momentous occasion. Throughout their tenure, these principals have been guiding lights, the pillars of our educational institutions. They have dedicated their time, energy, and passion to shaping the minds of countless students, instilling in them a love for learning and a belief in their own potential. Their leadership has been transformative, creating a positive and nurturing environment where students thrive, teachers excel, and the entire school community flourishes. They have not only embraced the role of an administrator, but have also been mentors, confidants, and cheerleaders for all those under their care. Their unwavering commitment to education and their ability to inspire and motivate others have left an indelible mark on our schools. Their tireless efforts have paved the way for innovation, ensuring that our students receive the best education possible. The National Principals Association of St. Lucia has a duty to recognize the work of members who have given years of service to this country as principals. In fact, I will not be surprised that most, if not all, the retirees, a few have spent his or her entire life in the field of education. As members of NPA St. Lucia, some of you did not just contribute financially, but lent your voice to support causes, shared opinions on various issues impacting the profession, offered advice to colleagues in dealing with matters, providing support to members and the organization when it was required. Honoring members while they are still with us is a privilege, and we must capitalize on it. Definitely. There are no shortcuts to taken when honoring our own. So tonight we salute Miss Teresa Johnny, Therese, Mrs. Marcelina Newton-Joseph, not here physically, but has sent a representative and is following virtually. Mrs. Winnie Cage King, Mr. Terence Fenelon, Mr. Davis Thomas, and Mr. Peter Luisi. District 2, yes, I know you're in the house. For those of us who are or were principals, we know how demanding and taxing this job is. We know how difficult it is to deal with the continuous flow of issues that come our way and the demands placed on us. As we reflect on their achievements, let us remember the countless lives they have touched, the students who have found their passions, the teachers who have been empowered, and the parents who have entrusted their children to their care. Their impact extends far beyond the walls of the school, shaping the future of our community. We are honored to have officials of the Ministry of Education present to share this occasion with us, especially our newly appointed Chief Education Officer, Ms. Beverly Diodone, and Deputy Chief Education Officer Instruction, Mr. Cyrus Sipal, who are both members of this noble body, and they too are past executive members of this august body. So they know what it takes to put together an occasion like this. Let us acknowledge them for still recognizing the value of such occasion. We are thankful to the family and friends who came out to help us celebrate this occasion. I hereby present excuse for Mrs. Marcelina Newton, who is out of state and unable to attend, but we welcome her representative who is present here with us, and I give her a big shout out in virtual land. This event is usually our culminating activity on our calendar of activities for the academic year. Unfortunately, since COVID pandemic, it has not returned to its rightful place in July. However, we are always looking forward in planning and organizing this special farewell for our hardworking, committed, successful, and dedicated principals who are making their way out of the education system after providing long years of service to a sector which is vital to any country's economic and social development. The executive of the National Principals Association has always placed great emphasis on their retirement function, and this one is no exception. We are grateful to the Ministry of Education for collaborating with us in honoring you, the retirees. NPA St. Lucia wishes the retirees good health during this new chapter, good luck in their new endeavors, and great success in new projects such as you retire. You will always be remembered for your accomplishments and contributions at your respective schools and districts. Thank you for your years of hard work and dedication to this profession and to our country. I am sure you did your personal reflections and can share anecdotes from your journey, the challenges you overcame, the milestones you celebrated, and the gratitude for colleagues, mentors, and the organization. Retirement from work does not mean retirement from NPA membership. I say that in all my speech every year. Or continued support for your school or another school which may need your expertise. I look at you and see individuals, yes, who are still so full of energy and vitality. According to the mighty sparrow, age is just a number. I know my good friend Mr. Peter Luisi knows about that. Just look out for him on the dance floor later, and my other special friend and mentor, Mrs. Snack, who retired but still provides her expertise at schools when called upon. So I'm always pleased to see the likes of past stalwart principals present at this symbolic ceremony, as they too were once honored and celebrated. Your presence here is testimony the work of tonight's retirees. I bid you all a very warm welcome as we begin this auspicious occasion and hope we all enjoy the evening's proceedings. We look forward to engaging our retirees, not only in bidding them farewell, but also to having them socialize and dance away the old as they welcome the new. So I'm cutting short my speech. So please join us in recognizing our retiring principals, celebrating their remarkable careers, and wishing them all the best in their well-deserved retirement. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for your very comprehensive remarks. In fact, they were so comprehensive that she went back on a word to me that she was going to be brief. And when I gave her the eye, she just said she was cutting short, but she actually read the entire speech. I guarantee you she read it. I'd like to invite Madam Chief. Madam Chief, we want to dance a little. And we have until midnight. Madam Chief will give us some remarks. Retirees. She's a new chief, so give her some love.
Mr. Sarah Sepal, Deputy Chief Education Officer Instruction. Mrs. Valerie St. Helen Henry, President of the National Principals Association. Esteemed retirees, other executive members of the National Principals Association, specially invited guests, past presidents of NPA, Mrs. Judy Johannes, and Mrs. Ethelyn Leos. Mrs. Leos, one of those who groomed me to be where I am today. Put your hands up. Mr. Dawson Ragunan, former Deputy Chief Education Officer Instruction. Education officers, Mrs. Marie Ale and Mr. Sherif. First Vice President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, Mrs. Anne Gifford Elcock. Past principals, Mrs. Arlette Snack and Mr. Julian Monrose. Principals, special guests of the retirees, other invited guests, communications unit of the Ministry of Education. Good evening. Thank you for being part of this significant event as we gather to honor and celebrate the exceptional careers of 6 distinguished educators, each of whom has left an ineradicable mark on the landscape of education. Tonight, we come together not just to say farewell, but to express our deepest gratitude for the dedication, passion, and unwavering commitment these educators have demonstrated over the years. As we stand on the cusp of bidding farewell to 6 pillars of our educational community, I am honored to deliver remarks on behalf of the entire fraternity of the Department of Education, and specifically our Minister for Education, the Honorable Sean Edward, who sends his apologies for not being part of this grand celebration since he's a little unwell, but extends greetings and congratulatory remarks to all our retirees this evening. Colleagues, tonight is not just a retirement dinner. It is a moment to reflect on the incredible contributions of individuals who have dedicated decades to the noble cause of education. First and foremost, let us pay tribute to a true stalwart in education, Mrs. Therese Johnny. Mrs. Therese Johnny has served an outstanding 41 years as an educator, inclusive of 16 years as a principal. Mrs. Johnny, your legacy is one of resilience and leadership. Your 4 decades of service have been marked by a steadfast commitment to fostering an environment where both students and teachers flourish. Your tenure as principal, marked by vision and compassion, has set a standard for educational leadership that will endure for generations to come. Thank you, Mrs. Johnny. The remarkable Mrs. Marcelina Newton-Joseph, who is joining us virtually, with an impressive 42 years as an educator, including 14 years as a principal. Your impact on the lives of students and the educational community at large is immeasurable. Your dedication to creating a nurturing and inclusive learning environment has enriched the educational experience for countless students and teachers. Your legacy, Mrs. Joseph, is one of compassion, excellence, and a tireless pursuit of educational equity, and for this we say thank you. Mr. Terence Fenelon. With an incredible 42 years as an educator, including a commendable 24 years as principal, and I need to say, a principal par excellence. Your leadership, sir, has been the cornerstone of the success of your school. Your unwavering commitment to education and the holistic development of not only your students, but your staff as well, has set a high standard for those who follow in your footsteps. The impact of your guidance will resonate for many years in the hallways of the Babonneau Secondary School. Thank you, sir, for such a legacy in our educational ecosystem. Mr. Davis Thomas. Your 28 years as an educator, including 12 years as a principal, have left a profound mark on the educational landscape. Your dedication to fostering a love for learning and creating a positive and nurturing school environment has created a lasting impact on the lives of the students you served and the staff with whom you worked. Your leadership, Mr. Thomas, epitomized educational excellence and a deep commitment to the betterment of each student, especially the most vulnerable and marginalized. Thank you for your immeasurable contribution to education. Mr. Peter Luisi, you gave an impressive 44 years as an educator. 3 of these years as vice principal, followed by your role as acting principal. Your tenure has been defined by an unyielding commitment to academic rigor and a passion for cultivating inquisitive minds. Your legacy, Mr. Luisi, is one of wisdom, experience, and dedication to the intellectual growth of your students. Thank you, Mr. Luisi, for your selfless contribution to education, and for impacting lives and making that difference. not only in the lives of students, but in the lives of many teachers. I always need a water break. Finally, but by no means least, Mrs. Winnicage King. We salute you for many years of service as an educator, including 6 years as a principal. Your contributions to education go beyond the classroom, shaping the very foundation of our educational institutions and, very importantly, our boys. Your commitment to fostering a love for learning and a sense of community has left an enduring mark on the hearts and minds of those you nurtured, and for this we say thank you. To Mrs. Johnny, Mrs. Newton-Joseph, Mr. Fenelon, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Louisi, and Mrs. King, on behalf of the entire education community, I extend our deepest gratitude for your years of service, dedication, and the profound impact you've had on the lives of staff and students. Your legacies are etched in the history of our educational institutions, and your influence will continue to guide us as we move forward. As you embark on this well-deserved chapter of retirement, may it be filled with joy, fulfillment, and the knowledge that your contributions have made a lasting difference. Thank you for your service, and congratulations on a career that has truly shaped the future of our country. Cheers to each of you. Raise your glasses, folks. And may your retirement be as enriching as the countless lives you've touched throughout your illustrious careers. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Colleagues, I think our beloved chief deserves a better round of applause. Thank you, Madam CEO, for your very profound send-off to our guests. Retirees, although we say farewell tonight, we trust that your golden phase is about to start. May God bless you to fulfill all your personal aspirations throughout your retirement. At this time, I invite I was paying attention to the chief. At this time, I invite Ms. Pearl Tench and Ms. Fayola Lubin, who are music teachers from District 3. Let's give them a resounding round of applause as they seek to serenade our guests of honor tonight.
Thank you very much. So, of course, not only the principals are on show tonight, but the teachers also very talented. Another round of applause for our very talented teachers. Okay, we're going to get into the presentations. Of course, we have a number of our special invited guests down to receive tokens from the NPA and the Ministry of Education for that matter. So I'll walk you through it. What we're doing, we have video presentations. And after each video presentation, the person being highlighted will be called up to receive their tokens. Cool? Nice. So we'll start with a very special presentation, and that one is to Mr. Dawson Ragunan. So Mr. Ragunan, you can stay put for a while. We have that video presentation.
Mr. Dawson Ragunan started his teaching career at the Boca Secondary School in 1994 as a teacher of mathematics, science, and biology. While at the Boca Secondary School, he pursued the Bachelor of Education program with the University of the West Indies at the Division of Teacher Education, specializing in testing, measurement, and evaluation. He graduated with first-class honors and walked away proudly with the award for research, top performer, and collegial spirit. Soon after, he became the vice principal of the Boca Secondary School, demonstrating excellence and efficiency in every area of this portfolio. As a teacher and vice principal, he made a significant impact in the lives of everyone he interacted with: students, teachers, principal, and parents. Not long after, he joined the staff at the examinations unit of the Ministry of Education, where he served as testing and evaluation officer with direct responsibility for the Common Entrance examination. He continued his academic pursuits by completing a master's degree in educational leadership with Lynchburg College. Soon after, Mr. Ragunan was appointed the Deputy Chief Education Officer with responsibility for instruction, a role which he carried out with seamless efforts, consistency, and passion. After 29 years of incredible service, Mr. Dawson Ragunan had opted out for early retirement on medical grounds due to health challenges. His remarkable work will always be remembered. Tonight, the National Principals Association honors Mr. Ragunan for his meritorious work to the development of education and the children of St. Lucia. Mr. Dawson Ragunan started his teaching career at the Boca Secondary School in 1994
And of course, Mr. Ragunan is also a former student of the St. Mary's College. I would like
leaving us before time. But we know, Mr. Rags, you will rise again, like the phoenix. You will rise again. We claim it tonight. In Jesus' name, Mr. Rags will rise again. God bless you.
Let me just add that the NPA made it a point to ensure that we honored Mr. Ragunan tonight. That was deliberate. Yeah. Okay, now we can continue with the other special awardees tonight, the retirees, our principals. And for that, I'll invite our Chief Education Officer who will present to the first three awardees. We will start with the video presentation for Ms. Marcelina Newton.
Good night, everyone. I started this journey at the Mikud RC Infant School in October of 1981, where I taught for 26 years, Stage 1 to Standard 1, now known as Kindergarten to Grade 3. I was also responsible for the special needs program at the school, helping students with learning needs. From the beginning of my teaching career, I have leaned on the quote by Ignacio Estrada: "If a child cannot learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach them the way they learn." And this I have followed throughout. During my time at the Mikud Infant School, I completed my teacher's certificate at the then Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. I then pursued the bachelor's degree in educational administration with the University of the West Indies and an advanced certificate in special education with Lynchburg College. These two programs were done simultaneously, completing both in 2007. In September 2007, I was then transferred to the Angers Secondary School, where I organized the Special Education Needs Program. As I was settling at the Angers Secondary School, I was appointed as the acting principal at the Mikud RC Infant School in March 2009. Then I pursued the master's degree in literacy and completed in 2013. In 2013, the Mikud Infant School and the Mikud Primary School were merged. I was then appointed as the principal of the Monrepo RC Combined School. In 2019, the Monrepo Combined School and the Pastures Combined School were merged to form the Monrepo Pastures Combined School. I then became the principal of this merged institution. I can describe this journey as a successful one, but not without challenges. Although there were roadblocks, potholes, hurdles, and sometimes the potholes were so deep and wide and filled with water, and I was not sure on which side of the road that I had to cross. However, by God's grace and God's help, I always found a way to maneuver around those potholes and to make things happen. During my journey as a principal, I have been supported and strengthened by persons we consider as a school family. Miss Filbert, Mrs. Lubin Burke, Mrs. Etienne, Miss Flavien, Miss Dantes, Mr. St. Paul, and our now EO, Mr. Sheriff. I extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you. I am also thankful for the teachers I had the opportunity to work with. The teachers at the Mikud Infant School, the Asher Secondary School, the Monrepo Combined School, and the Monrepo Pastures Combined School. One thing I would like to leave with you, principals, I would like you to give your teachers the autonomy to do things. This will help them to create a sense of accomplishment and a level of control of what takes place at the school. It will also allow them to reach their full potential, build their skills and leadership, and also teamwork is being fostered. As a result, your workload is going to be less. Teamwork has enabled us to overcome a lot of the challenges, especially the now CPEA era. Principals, be visible at your school. Do not cave yourself in an office. Visit your classrooms regularly. Just pop in to say hello. Teach the classes, especially when the teacher is out. The children enjoy when the principal teaches them. Let your students know you. Be with them. As I exit this wonderful and prestigious profession, I want to wish all of you well. I lean on this verse from Jeremiah 29, verse 11. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I know my future is in the hands of God. As I step into this new era of my life, I will continue to rely on His mighty hand. I did enjoy this journey, working with different levels of students from the infant to secondary, and also being the center of 2 school mergers. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Receiving the token of appreciation on behalf of Miss Newton is Mrs. Cecily de Terville. Mrs. de Terville has duly informed me that she is Miss Newton's youngest sister. Am I correct? There we go. I'm very apprehensive to call on the next person. Can I? Here we go. Our next retiree is Miss Therese Johnny.
Good night, everyone. I would like to first thank you for being here today to celebrate my retirement. Now, I would like you to close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine blue skies, clear beaches, and golden sun. Listen to the waves crashing along the shore. This is where I am. I stand at the beach where each grain of sand represents my accomplishments, my hard work, the lives I have impacted, however little or inconsequential some may see it. It has been an incredible journey swimming tirelessly through the sea of life, working with some amazing people and learning to be a competent and dedicated leader. My career as an educator commenced when I was very young, energetic, and eager. After graduating from the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School in 1982, I landed my first job as a grade 5 teacher at the Balata Primary School. I served in many capacities at the school, which included, but was not limited to, literacy coordinator, acting principal, and teacher of grades 3, 5, and 6. I worked hard. My philosophy was that I came to do a job and I needed to do it to the best of my ability. After many years of service at the Balata School, I applied to be the principal of the Lage Primary School when a vacancy was announced. Believe me, I was nervous and a bit hesitant at first. However, I knew that if given the chance, I would do my best and would be able to swim through any rough seas presented along my journey. In January 2008, I became the principal of the Lage Primary School, where I was met with a talented and dedicated team, some of which have retired, some have gone to other schools, and some who are still there working tirelessly. As a captain of a ship, everyone knows that it will not always be smooth sailing, but we know that behind every cloud lies a silver lining, and I can tell you the silver linings presents were beautiful. As I reflect upon my days of service, I realize that back then, when I chose to become a teacher, the decision was based on the premise that teaching was a noble profession, because those who taught me left an indelible impression on me. I had strong admiration for my own teachers and considered them role models that I had to emulate as a result. My goals and aspirations after I joined the profession was to instill in students a sense of pride and belonging by providing them with both formal and informal education where they could become functional adults in society and by extension someone others can look up to. Moreover, I realize that in all my achievements, both great and small, the one that really stands out for me is when I'm referring to my school, placed 7th at CPEA with a mean of over 77%. That day, the entire school was in joyous mood. I have never seen that before. However, there were moments when we struggled to meet the national mean. This did not prevent us from pushing our students and encouraging them to be the best they could. My favorite quote as a principal is none other than the school's motto, which embodies what students, teachers, and society should aspire for, and that is whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. Indeed, in my opinion, there is nothing as simple yet effective as these words. As I move on to the next chapter of my life, I am excited about the new opportunities that await me. Retirement is not the end, but a new beginning, and I plan to make it just that. I want to take a moment at this time to thank my colleagues and mentors for their unwavering support and encouragement. Thank you all for being a part of my journey. Your friendship and support have been a constant source of inspiration, and I will cherish the memories we have made together. Thank you and have a blessed night.
You should not underestimate the level of wisdom that is being imparted here by these retirees in these videos that we are viewing this evening. I have my notebook. You should have yours as well. We will now prepare for the video of Miss Winnie Cage King.
Good
A
evening,
blessed and
ladies and
wonderful evening to everyone. I am encouraged by the saying,
gentlemen. Teach each child, love each child, know what your students' needs are. Be an example to your students. Be present and give this vocation your all. And when you've given all that you can give and can give no more, bow out gracefully. These are the guided words of the great, in my eyes, Mr. MacArthur Fowell, who greeted, supervised, and molded me when I joined the staff of the St. Aloysius R.C. Boys' Primary School in 1987, the second school that I taught at. These are also the guided words that I tried to emulate, especially after I started having my own children and committed to bringing to students what I would have loved for their teachers to bring to them. Over the years, I have excelled under the guidance of other great persons in the profession that I am truly grateful for. My mother, who had been a teacher, principal, and graphic artist. She literally sent me to teach, but was a pillar of strength and helped during teaching practice with perfect charts that impressed Dr. Brooms, practice and lots of it in the presentation of lessons and the all-important preparation in the structure of my lesson plans. Mr. Julian Monrose criticized, encouraged, and cheered me on whenever it was necessary. He encouraged professional development, not just for the sake of developing oneself, but to bring something better to the table at which the students must dine and to be a more considerate being of others. Dr. Rosie Mathre and Father Cecil Goodman provided spiritual counseling to help with interacting with others with compassion, patience, and simplicity. I must not forget the many parents who made it worth the while in showing up and being present, because even though they had their own struggles, they cared and made me want to care even more. I'm proud to have been a teacher. I am even more proud that I followed in my mother's footsteps of a chosen profession, and that 2 of my 7 children have followed us by choosing to teach, to love, and to care for children. As a principal, the words that guided me and the words that I'd leave for others are by Lao Tzu. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep it simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present.
I'd like to invite our president of the NPA to present the remainder of the awards. And we'll start with Mr. Can I say his name? Okay. Mr. Peter Louisi.
A blessed and wonderful evening to everyone. I am encouraged by the saying, hard work and determination brings success. This saying has been my guide throughout my 45 years in the teaching profession. My name is Peter Louisi from the beautiful community of Foaso Babuno. I am a family man, happily married to Mrs. Sandy Louisi, a proud father of a 25-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter. Upon leaving the Foaso Primary School in Standard 6 in July 1978, I was in search of employment. In September 1978, I was appointed as a teacher at the Babuno Primary School, where I taught until February 2016. From March 2016 to October 2016, I was called upon to serve as the acting district education officer for District 1. In October 2016, I was appointed as the vice principal of the Vidbutei Secondary School, presently known as the Patricia D. James Secondary School. I also served as the acting principal until my retirement in March 2023. While I was at primary school, I stood out as one of the well-disciplined and bright students. As a result, my teachers and the principal allowed me to play the role of teacher during the absence of a teacher. This really motivated me and built me as a teacher. During my career, I must say that I made great strides. One of the things which stands out for me is that coming straight from primary school without any qualification, I climbed the ladder of success. I was able to get my CXCs. I was able to pursue different programs. I went to Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, became a qualified teacher. I also moved up to the rank of being a principal, having acquired my master's degree. And this year, it should be noted that I have been a role model for my students, especially the male students. I have also been a mentor for young teachers, and most of them presently, they have moved to the position of principals. One of the things which stood out for me as a leader was my ability to maintain positive interpersonal relationship with my staff members. For me, changing lives of students, this is something I really cherished. And I must say there are days when my students would come to school without a meal, without bus fare, and it was really heartbroken. I had to assist them. I felt good that I made a difference in the lives of these students. These students were able to remain in school until they reached Form 5. There were struggling moments at school, and one of them, I must say, was ability to deal with difficult parents. It was very challenging at times. My favorite quote for my teachers, I must say, cover your back. And I would use it at every meeting, every session I had. I would say to the teachers, cover your back. And if you go to the school at present, at Patricia D. James, the teachers will say to you, cover your back. I am inspired by the teachers, the level of support that they gave to me, the love that they poured out, and the commitment to their duty. In all things, we must give thanks. I want to say special thanks to the Ministry of Education for the confidence that they placed in me to lead the principals of District 1, the education officer, the teachers of the Patricia D. James Secondary School, who embraced me with open arms and continued to display that level of teamwork, unity, and commitment. To the parents, I must say, during this time, I developed relationship with parents, and we worked well, I must say. To principals who are continuing, we all know that the work can be very stressful, it can be very challenging. If I had to do it again, I would do it. However, one of the things that I would do differently is management of time. I think I devoted most of my time to schoolwork. I was very much engrossed in schoolwork, and I did not give much attention to self-care. One of the things that happened to me very often, I must say, I would not have lunch on time. My lunch hour was about 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, because I always wanted to solve every problem and deal with every situation at the school. I think one of the things that must be done is to manage your time properly and ensure that you find time for yourself, because if you don't find time for yourself, you will not be able to manage effectively. Principals and those who are aspiring to become principals, my advice to you, ensure that it is a we team, not an I team. Maintain a positive relationship with your teachers. Find time for different activities. For me, I don't see retirement as an end. I am very passionate about helping people. I will continue to serve teachers, especially at the Teachers Credit Cooperative, to ensure that their lives are impacted in a very positive way. I will also endeavor to provide support for schools that I have served, as well as finding a new profession. I would like to thank the National Principals Association for your support. Thank you for your words of encouragement. Good evening.
You know just a sing song with the people your mother tell you keep calm. Feel tech full of wrong like Islam.
In keeping with the theme of covering your back, to accept Mr. Louis's token, I would like to invite Mrs. Sandy Louis. Mr. Come.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Erasmus Fenelon, born June 2nd, 1963. In 1981, Mr. Fenelon's journey as a teacher began at the St. Aloysius RC Boys School under the guidance of Mr. Fowell. The atmosphere was extraordinary. It felt like a close-knit family where they looked out for one another. They worked hard, put in their best efforts, working diligently to educate their students. But it wasn't just about work. It was a place where they enjoyed a strong sense of camaraderie. Afternoons were particularly memorable as they come together to relax and play dominoes. These moments were more than just games. They were a time for laughter and bonding, fostering a sense of unity among the teachers. Looking back, it's heartwarming to reflect on how it all started and how the sense of togetherness and fellowship remained a cherished part of his teaching experience throughout the years. In 1999, his journey as the principal of the Babonneau Secondary School commenced, and it was an adventure filled with immense significance. The school was newly built, making him the first principal to lead the institution. As he stepped into new leadership role, it was abundantly clear that this was an opportunity for him to guide both the staff and students towards a future of promise and potential. Working alongside a dedicated team of staff and motivated students, his collective goal was to transform the school into a school of choice for the community. It wasn't just about education. It was about instilling values, nurturing a spirit of achievement, and creating an environment where students thrived. Throughout his tenure, he implemented various activities at the school to engage and enrich the life of students. These initiatives were more than just extracurricular activities. They were a vital part of the holistic development of students, fostering greater creativity and character. As years passed, he had the privilege of witnessing numerous students and staff members not only excelling academically, but also growing personally. This was the most rewarding aspect of his journey. Seeing the tangible impact of collective efforts in shaping lives, nurturing talent, and helping students and staff members succeed. One may ask what inspired Mr. Fenelon to join the profession. Mr. Fenelon was inspired to become a teacher by deep love for children and strong desire to make a difference in people's lives through education. His primary goal has always been to see individuals succeed and thrive. Working with students gave him fulfillment in nurturing their growth, helping them realize their potential, and guiding them towards success. He believed that education is passion and innovation in the classroom as they build blocks of our success. The success he thoroughly enjoyed at the Babonneau Secondary School. Mr. Fenelon now would like to share some words of wisdom and advice to those who he left behind. One is to embrace change, and embracing change with an open mind and a willingness to adapt to new teaching methods, technologies, and pedagogical approaches. Change can be a source of growth and innovation. Nurture relationships. The relationships you build with students, colleagues, and parents are at the heart of what you do. These connections have to be powerful to inspire, to support, and transform lives. Value and nurture them. He wants to remind us to take care of ourselves. The demands of the profession can be intense. Don't forget to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. And as a leader, his greatest achievement is making Babonneau Secondary School a school of choice. Throughout his career, he would like to share that he had done leadership training, being able to secure 2 scholarships yearly for graduating students, creating the FICT Media Center at the school, creating the multimedia room, and improving CXC performance every year. What inspired him, or his favorite quote is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me." Mr. Fenelon is grateful to his incredible staff. He wants to say thank you for your unwavering commitment to providing a nurturing and inspiring environment for students. Your hard work and passion is notwithstanding great. Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Fenelon, 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 Terence Fenelon.
I am inclined to go into some anecdotes. I think the young principals keep those things in mind, because Mr. Fenelon in change. Everyone has seen that draft hair policy, and the chief culprit is sitting right there. This is something that we have to look at in a very holistic manner. And speaking as the principal of SMC, it's something that is very tough to embrace. But we need to understand that times are changing, and we need to realize that we have to metamorphosize. And it's something that we have to understand. So new principals in particular, and those of us who've been around for a while, let us embrace change. Let us embrace change. Yeah. Mr. Fenelon? Mr. Fenelon, you need to stand this way for a minute. I'll tell you why. This year, I had the distinction of attending the biannual conference of the Caribbean Association of Secondary School Principals, the CAPS conference. And at that conference, a number of secondary school retired principals were recognized and awarded. I had the distinction of accepting the award and the token on Mr. Fenelon's behalf. Ms. Daniel accompanied me at that conference. Ms. Daniel, I would like you to come forward, please. And on behalf of the CAPS, Caribbean Association of Secondary School Principals, I would like Ms. Daniel to present you with this token of appreciation from the Caribbean Association of Principals of Secondary Schools. I resist the temptation. Okay, I have to keep asking. Okay, Mr. Davis Thomas.
It started my journey different from the typical educator, and perhaps it also ended in a different manner. I worked in my early years with the American Airlines Ground Services in Vieux Fort and later joined the Royal St. Lucia Police Force during a period where respect for the law started to disintegrate. My aunt, who worked with the Minister of Education, the late Honorable Louis George, advised me to join the teaching profession. She set up an appointment with Mrs. Elizabeth Setage, who was the principal of the Vidbutei Combined School at that time. The interview lasted no more than 5 minutes, and I was told that I would be teaching Standard 4 with a teacher by the name of Mistress Marian Dugaya. we had about 58 students in one class. And after just 6 short weeks, I was given 30 of these students to manage on my own. As a young teacher, I was entrusted with many responsibilities at the school, working very closely with the principal and other senior staff members. The only teacher with less than 2 years experience and in charge of reviewing all teachers' appraisals or confidential reports, school finance, mathematics planning, and also test item writing. I accompanied the principal to several meetings and also represented her at a few, long before I became a trained teacher. After 5 years in the profession, I decided to apply and successfully got into DTEEA to complete the associate degree in primary education and the certificate in teaching. I went back to the Vidbotei Primary School as a grade 5 teacher for 1 year and then began a full-time physical education program at the school. I also introduced a basic information and technology program at the school. With the assistance of then education officer, Mr. Julian Delodi, I was able to source some equipment from the Department of Education to furnish a room at the school to introduce IT to all grades. The program turned out to exceed its objectives as the teachers were also introduced to the use of IT in teaching and learning. In 2005, in an effort to improve my academic CV, I applied to complete a first degree in educational administration with UWI. I graduated with honors in 2007 and was reassigned to my duties at the Vidbotei Combined School as an IT teacher. During that time, I worked very closely with Mistress Lyril Arthur Stanislas, and we assisted the then principal, Mrs. Elizabeth Prudent, in running the school. I also studied a postgrad diploma in curriculum development and distant learning with UWI. I successfully completed this course and wanted a change in environment. So I applied to become a teacher of mathematics and geography at St. Mary's College and also biology and integrated science at Leon Hess Comprehensive Secondary School. Both applications were accepted after my interviews. I had the dilemma of choosing one of the two schools and eventually chose SMC. After being introduced to the mathematics department at SMC, I was handed my timetable to commence teaching the following day. While waiting in Mr. Sion's office, I received a call from the chief education officer at that time, informing me that since I did not complete an A-level course in mathematics, I would not be able to teach math at SMC. That was the lowest moment in my teaching career. I was so disappointed. I returned to Vidbotei, where I basically became the principal's assistant along with Mr. Stanislas, and we continued to strengthen the IT program that I started. In March 2010, I received a call from someone who shall not be named, advising me to apply for the post of principal at RC Boys Infant School, to which I was a bit hesitant, but eventually did. 4 weeks later, I received another call from the Department of Education, informing me that due to certain circumstances, there will be a vacant post for principal at the Bocage Primary School, and that I was selected to the acting position based on my performance at the recent interviews for another school. A few days later, I was introduced to the staff of the Bocage Combined School, and the rest is history. I enjoyed working with the few parents and staff of the Bocage Combined School. I felt the sense of community among all key stakeholders. When I took over, we were struggling academically and tried to put some programs in place to support our high percentage of slow and struggling learners. Some improvements were made, but we were severely hampered by the cycle of poverty which influenced our parents' perception of the importance of school in their family's development. After my 11th year into the profession, I began my battle with a special medical condition and had to undergo 2 major surgeries in consecutive years to work towards a healthy body again. I was advised by my doctors to consider a less stressful occupation to give my body time to heal as I undergo different types of treatment. This is what has brought me here today. I do not think that I would change anything along my career path because I know I gave 150% of my physical self and my effort. I am very thankful to the Department of Education for giving me the opportunity to grow professionally and share my knowledge and influence so many people in this society. I am truly grateful for that. My best quote: success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That's by Winston Churchill. Some inspirational words that I would like to leave with others here. 2 Corinthians 5 tells us that our physical bodies are like tents we live in here on earth, meaning life here is temporary, it is frail, and it can be hoisted away in an instant. Therefore, we should spend our time being kind to others. Do not destroy others' emotional intelligence by showing hatred towards them. Long live the education system. I thank you.
Mr. Thomas, on behalf of St. Mary's College, I'd like to apologize for the low point in your career. And the next MAV vacancy I have, you shall be on top of my list.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's only fitting that we put our hands together and commend in excess of 200 years of nation building. Come on, let's put our hands together for all of our retirees tonight. I must admit, the standard deviation is very, very small tonight because each one in their own way was so impactful, and the stories and biographies. My goodness, we need to look at them again, Davis, right? All right, come on, we can do better. Let's put our hands together for our retirees again. You make retirement look so special and so goal-directed. All right, so at this time, we're going to have a little change in the temperature. And I invite Mr. Dylan St-Jules and Miss Mandy George. Did I say the right name? Can I stick in a pin here? Those of you who were here last year, you remember that I said Dylan Segis, right? But that was not the correct name. So tonight you corrected me with the wrong name. So I made it my business to get it right tonight. It's Mr. Dylan St-Jules, right? All right, so we're going to have a duet by Mr. Dylan St-Jules and Miss Mandy George. Miss Mandy George is the acting principal of RC Boys Infant. Let's put our hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night to all. I would like to wish our retirees a magnificent retirement, full of liveliness, enthusiasm, and great health. Happy retirement. And right about now, we are going to just serenade you with a beautiful song. Those of you who know the song, feel free to sing along. Sing along.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always lose that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love never leaves you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small standing by the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you'll never fear those mountains in the distance. I never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might be taking chances, but they will take it. And love it might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some bad hand leave you bitter. When you come close to starting out, reconsider. Give the hands above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still smell fall standing by the ocean. Whenever wonder closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me you'll be faithful. When you get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Take it away.
And even now, you need to put your hands and do a dance. I hope you dance, not just tonight, but as you continue to move on into the next phase of your life. And that is not just for our retirees, it's for each one of us here. I hope you dance tonight. Dance your troubles away, dance your stresses away, and dance into the promises of next week. All right? Thank you, Miss Mandy George and Mr. Dylan Saint-Just. Now we move into a little, it's getting a little sentimental. Yes, it's really an honor for me now to call on Mr. Fenelon. And even as he walks towards the podium, I just want to share my first interaction with Mr. Fenelon. At the time, I was a student of the B.Ed program, and we had a little research. Remember that individual study we had to do many, many years ago? And man, I needed to do some action research because I was so intent on making change. And I walked into Mr. Fenelon's office, and I just had a little discussion with him about what my goals were. And he just looked at me and smiled and said, okay. And I was like, that's it? He said, yes. It's okay. And I'm thinking, you have this expectation that you have so much to talk to the principal about to get it done. And he just opened his arms wide and opened up his school to me. All right, and from that day, I became an honorary member of the Babonneau Secondary School staff. All right, so let's welcome Mr. Terrence Fenelon, who's going to do the expression of gratitude on behalf of all the retirees. Come on, with an outfit like that. Let's welcome the General tonight.
Thank you very much. Usually the voice thunders, when I speak. I'm just teasing. Chief Education Officer, Ms. Diodone. May I be allowed to... Yes, no? May I be allowed to adopt the protocol established? I may? Thank you very much. So I have... You want me to refer? No, I don't need that. She has already given me permission to adopt the protocol. That's the way it is done, You have to acknowledge the highest member in the room. My good friend, Brother Sipal. All right, permit me just to be a little... The president gave me 45 minutes. You have that? Principals, we know ourselves. When we get up to speak at assembly, man, we go on forever, right? And it's a double whammy for me. In my previous life, boy, the microphone was, I will not tell you what I used to do in the previous life. Oh, shucks. We preachers, we like a microphone, boy. Right? Brother Siba, you know the thing. But I have no fear, it's just 2 minutes. But permit me just to be a little selfish. I'm coming to us, sir. Let me recognize Chief. Mr. Benty, where's Mr. Benty? Stand up, Mr. Benty. Where is he? I'm not seeing him, huh? May I have a glass? Oh, the light is... Where is he? Mr. Benty, you there? To my right, yeah, but the light is blinding me there, man. Far right, yes, this is Mr. Benty, and Mr. Sipal could testify. No principal could have had a better wingman than Mr. Benty. Trust me, principals, and I'm going to make something there. I'm going to tell you something. You may discard it if you want. Try to hire the right people, and when you hire the right people, you can get out of the way. Let that sink in. You'll think about it tonight. When you hire the right people around you, you could easily get out of the way. Mr. Benty, thank you. And I'm happy you're here tonight with me. All right? One more guy, Mr. Monrose. Where's Brother Monrose? That's my, we have formed a friendship, a deep friendship going way back, RC Boys Primary. We are, yes, well, take out the crime. Just take out the crime. But what I've learned from the RC Boys Primary School and from people like Mr. Monrose and Deloney and stuff, and I'm trying to remember, Satney, and you realize what I'm calling there, the union people? Yes, they groom me and stuff, so stalwarts in the union, so I learned a lot. Even now, Mr. Monrose and I, we bond well, and we butt heads and exchange ideas, and I want to thank you. I really appreciate our friendship, and one thing I've learned from you is how to think on on your feet. So, Mr. Monrose, thank you very much. Mr. Benty, Mr. Monrose, thank you. All right, sorry about that. That was just personal. I did not have to go there, but I needed to just say that tonight because of the hair. That's all right? All right. Normally I ad-lib, but I'm going to take my time to read, otherwise I'll get carried away, and I'll be here for, you'll be here for 30 minutes, so I'll not do that. So could I say colleagues? Yeah? Today marks a very significant milestone in our lives. As we stand there, I'm a little more emotional. Normally I'm not so, but you understand, you'll forgive me, right? As we bid farewell to a very fulfilling career. It is with mixed emotions that as I stand there, we reflect, all of us, I'm speaking on behalf, collectively, we reflect on the memories, and there are many, and the accomplishments we've shared. I think we'll forever be grateful for the invaluable experiences and the meaningful connections and the knowledge we have gained along the way. As we embark on this new chapter, some of us, we're still young. We're going on to other things. We wish to express our deepest gratitude to all of you who have supported and inspired us throughout this journey. We know retirement is not the end, but a new beginning. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say, we look forward to embracing the joys and the adventures that lie before us. I want to thank you on our behalf for an extremely pleasant and great evening. Thank you very much.
Let's put our hands together for Mr. Fenelon. And amidst all what he had shared through his biography tonight, principals, let's learn to be brief. As brief as Mr. Fenelon was tonight. This one's for me, Mr. Fenelon. All right. Very precise, very succinct, very emotional. Thank you, Mr. Fenelon. At this time, I would like to call on Miss Charmaine Pierre, whose role is to say thank you. One of the little things that go very far. Charmaine Pierre.
Good evening, everybody. I feel in some tension. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Madam Chief, please permit me to adopt the protocol previously established. I am Charmaine Pierre, the Assistant Secretary of the National Principals Association. On behalf of this noble organization, I am here to propose this evening's vote of thanks. Indeed, I am honored to be the one chosen to put the icing on the retirement cake. Now, Madam President, we need a cake. Next year, we need a cake. Or next retirement function. Okay, so it's an idea. Executive, a cake. Now, if you know me well, you would know I would never give a vote of thanks on my own. Not alone. So I have a few persons in the audience that I have asked to assist me in making my task easier. Be ready, please, when I'll call on you. Let me start by extending heartfelt thanks to our dear Chief Education Officer, Ms. Beverly Diodone, for gracing us with your presence. We appreciate the support you continue to provide And we know you will always be there to guide, motivate, and encourage each and every one of us. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sipal, for being part of our celebration this evening. Your company and participation always create uniqueness to our activities. To our hard-working Madam President, special thanks for ensuring that this event took place. Your passion and drive cannot go unnoticed. Yes, let's give our Madam President a round of applause. She tried. She ensured that every I's were dotted and every T's were crossed. To you, our esteemed and valued retirees, we are grateful to have you in attendance. Your unwavering contribution in the education system will forever remain etched in our hearts and minds. Your hard work, dedication, and achievements can never be matched. Each of you led with your unique style, and that we commend you. Thank you for you setting the standard for everyone. May your legacy live on. My colleagues and executive members, much appreciation to you. Excellent execution. You deserve a round of applause. Continue to work hard and collaboratively as a team. NPA strong. To all our special invited guests, past president of NPA, district education officers, principals, past and present, family members of retirees, our decorators, teachers who assisted with the program, corsages, slide presentation, the communication unit of the Ministry of Education, the media, family and friends watching live, we thank you. Not forgetting the management and staff of Sandals Regency, the DJ, we thank you all for your individual craft and skillful contributions towards such an amazing and memorable event. Finally, we want to seal this event with a few short messages designed and created for our retirees. So please, my supporters, all right. So you will see they standing and they will be always. So we have some stars and you can see, I think I selected the star specifically for somebody. One of them, the star.
Therese Johnny. Whatever comes next for you, may it bring you happiness and fulfillment. Take time to rejuvenate. Enjoy your days of waking up late. Best wishes, Madam Therese.
Davis Thomas. Oh, Davis. Oh, Davis. Your retirement is well deserved, but you will surely be missed. Please go easy on yourself. Take each day one step at a time. We love and will forever appreciate you.
Oh, Davis. Look at his wife right there. Check yourself. Marcelina, all your hard work has finally paid off. Enjoy having the time to do all the things you have always wanted to do. Happy retirement, Marcel! I get to give it to sister.
Mr. Peter Louisi, after all you've done for us, it's only fair to let the rest of the world get their turn. Best of luck with your new endeavors and adventures. We know you will enjoy every single day. Best wishes on your retirement.
I don't have our rags. Neil, look trouble now. Mr. Ragunan, our rags, our darling Dawson. In the many years you have been with the education system, you have made an undeniable difference. Congratulations on your retirement. It will not be the same era without you. Take good care. We love you, our darling rags.
And we're saluting the boss. Whatever comes next for you, may it bring you happiness and fulfillment. Wishing you happiness beyond retirement. You will be greatly missed. So, father-in-law.
To you, Winnie King, we say congratulations on your retirement and enjoy the world of possibilities ahead of you. Congratulations, you've seen your retirement.
Awesome, awesome. So you see, it's like you should never give a vote of thanks on your own. All right? So you include everybody, inclusion. Thank you kindly for assisting. Once again, NPA Executive unites in extending gratitude to everyone for gracing us with your presence. DJ.